with that last little bit of the bio, tell me what can we learn about what can leaders learn from the pub?
Yeah, it's a great question. So where it came from really was years of sitting listening to leaders, and one of the most common things that came up was, how do we make our workplaces a place where people want to be in, a place where they feel they belong, and a place that they feel loyal to. And the more that I reflect upon that question, one of the things that suddenly came to my mind was I grew up in a pub in Northern Ireland. And I said, here's this institution that has been around for hundreds of years, and it does an amazing job with a number of things. First of all, it creates community. It creates a place where people want to be in. People call it their local. That's my place, and also it does very well. When you listen to the conversations that are happening, there's a lot of vulnerability there. There's a lot there. This place is not a place where you have to pretend to be someone else. You go in there and you don't have to have your ers or graces, as we say in Ireland. You just go in with your warts, and it's a place of support. And so I thought that there's many lessons about what's created in that space. Now, we use things like psychological safety and different things, modern terms now to create a space in the workplace. But I think the pub does in a great way, create that kind of community. And so what are some of the ways? Well, creating psychological safety, creating the leader, setting the tone, this understanding of emotional contagion, that basically we influence each other emotionally, and that impacts what's happening in the space that we are there. The power of story to create emotional experience, empathy. So all of these things are happening in the pub. And I think there's a lot of lessons as well in what I like to say is creating more human workplaces.
So was it part of that experience in the pub that, I mean, was that originally kind of what, like, did you draw, have you made these connections recently, or was this something that you started noticing as you were actually growing up? And did that at all influence like your career path that you ended up getting into, kind of studying and teaching this different stuff?
So I think it's a little both and Toby. I think growing up, um, certainly I was brought up, I think I've begun to appreciate even more that environment. So it certainly, I grew up in a very divided society, and my father, he created a pub where both Catholics and Protestants could go to. And he just said, as long as you're not fighting, anyone is welcome. And so even, I grew up in like basically violence all around me. And so part of it was, God, we have to be better than this. This can't be all that is left for humanity to break down and strife. So I think there was an understanding. I don't think I'd have intellectualized it at the pub, but I think there was always, this is a special place. There's something happening here that is different. And then I think recently, as I reflect upon it, and actually I've had conversations with a number of my friends who I didn't realize, but they had tended bar growing up. And every single one of them said, the most emotionally intelligent people are barmen or bar women, because they just deal with all these different personalities, and they just have an ability to put people at ease and to create a space that is welcoming.